Hello my friends, welcome to week 3 of Obsessed with Katty and Christy. This is going to be my 75th process video titled Lake Tahoe, or Lake Tahoe as my kids like to call it. For this week we're picking 3 out of these 7 items that you see here, and we have to use them on our layouts. This is the layout that I created. Out of those 7 items, what I picked out was washi tape, twine, and what else did I pick out? And enamel dots. Sorry, there they are. Enamel dots, twine, and washi tape. So these are the 4 papers that you see here that we're using for this week, that we both have to use. If you guys have not seen our series before, Christy and I are taking both a collection that we both love, which in this case is the Maggie Holmes open book collection, and we are creating layouts with this with the same papers. The twist is that Christy has the 12 by 12 paper pad and I have the 6 by 6 paper pad. So, but anyway, we are using the same papers each week. So these are the 4 papers. The background paper that I chose, because I only have a 6 by 6 paper pad, I chose this wood grain background, or wood planks, and that is from the DIY shop from Crepe Paper. So it's still Crepe Paper, but it's just a different line. Because I don't have 12 by 12, so I have to have something in my background, right? So I took that striped paper and I decided to cut it up. As I've said before in my last video, since I only have a 6 by 6 paper pad, I kind of have to get creative with it. So, you know, try to sort of you know, use things in a different way. So it's been a challenge, but it's been really fun. So I'm really glad that Christy and I are doing this. So that is my photo. I am going to mat it on black first to make it pop a little bit more. And the photo is a photo that is of my 2 boys, and that was taken last December in Lake Tahoe. We went to California. We live in Florida. So we went to California and we spent Christmas in California. So it was very nice, and we spent a few days in Lake Tahoe, which was really nice. And they're just standing. We had stopped at one of the stops because we drove around the whole lake, and there was a stop, and I don't know if I have the name of that stop, of that area that we stopped at, but it was very pretty, and there were these big huge rocks, and we took pictures there. So, and you can see the lake in the background and the mountains, so it was really nice. And what I'm doing now with this green paper, I'm putting a piece of that thin thin cardboard that I use, and I am putting that behind it, and that's just to give it some dimension. And then I'm doing the same thing with my photo. I put a couple of pieces of that thin cardstock to make my photo pop a little bit off the page. And then I did mat it with that pink paper just because it's pink and it's going to be harder for me to use you know, as a bigger element on the page, so I just matted my photo with it. And these little reindeers were really my struggle, or I struggled the most with them this week. That little reindeer paper, it's so pretty, but it's so difficult to use. So I started cutting it apart, and then I punched out a few of them. So I took my round recollection circle punch, and I just punched out a few of them. And I was going to use them like that, and I was going to punch out a bunch of them, but I changed my mind, and in the end I only used 3. So you're going to see me kind of change my mind a bit. And then I'm taking out the chipboard sheet because I'm going to start using, I know I want to use the little reindeer that's on the chipboard sheet as well, because you know, I mean, I'm already using the reindeer paper. I might as well use the rest of the reindeers. So I do use that reindeer, which is like a mint green, and then I'm going to use a gold one as well. That reindeer, the pink one to the right, I don't end up using that. And the little squirrel that I took out, I don't use that either. I thought it was going to be too many animals for one page, so I don't use that either. And then I'm looking through, I have in this little bin, I have the floral ephemera, I have the regular ephemera pack, and I have the chipboard frames, all from that collection from Maggie Holmes open book. So I was just looking through that and just picking out a few things that would go. And then this little chipboard frame was perfect because it has a map on it, and we were traveling, so I thought that fit in pretty well. Taking 2 strips of that green paper, and I am putting them on the top and the bottom. And what I am trying to do each week with this is I'm trying, I mean, I know it sounds kind of stupid or kind of ridiculous, but you know, even having just a 6x6 paper pad, you know, you're still left with scraps because I cut things up, so I'm still left with scraps. And my whole idea for this is to try not to have scraps left over. You know, I want to try to use up everything, you know, from the collection because, you know, I mean, the whole idea behind this is to use this collection up. I mean, even though we love it, and of course I would want to hoard it forever, but you know, the idea is to use it up. So so I took that frame and I cut it up, and then I put a piece on the top and the bottom. You can see that that reindeer paper, I since it was already cut at an angle, I placed it just like that. I really like how that looked. And then I cut out the center of it just because I didn't want to waste those pretty little reindeers behind my photo, so I'm gonna keep them. And I don't end up using those, but I will keep them in and see how I can maybe work them in somewhere else because they're really, really cute. So I'm taking the other strips from that pink paper that I used to mat the photo, and I'm punching it out with this Fiskars punch. This is a border punch, and I'm just sort of, and it's like a lace scallop sort of punch. So I'm punching out, and I'm gonna use those pieces. I'm gonna use both pieces actually. I'm gonna use the actual punched out pieces, and then like the other negative space, I guess is what you call it, I don't know, but the other pieces I'm going to use as well. So I'm going to use both, and I do realize that pink doilies and stuff are kind of feminine, but it doesn't matter. I think it looks cute. And I've said it before, I've gotten over the whole pink thing, but you know, I mean, obviously I try to use more of the blues and the greens, but it's okay. I'm okay with using pink on my boys' layouts because it's cute. And then I found with the chipboard frames, I found that wood grain chipboard frame, which I have on top of my picture, which matches perfectly with that background. So I'm going to use that on the photo as well. And then that's when I decide to just use those 3 reindeers, and then I use a piece of that thin cardboard to pop it up a bit. And this stuff is really great for me because I get it free at work and I don't have to waste as many Pop-Tarts. So I'm putting down my frame and I'm putting it towards the bottom right of the photo. And I just really liked it because it matched the background paper, so I thought it was pretty cool. And then I'm placing those 2 reindeers there just like you see. I'm using my fine line bottle with Scotch quick dry adhesive to adhere all those little pieces that I punched out. I'm using those to adhere them, so that's what I'm doing there. And then I thought about using some of these leaves, but in the end I don't use them. I don't really find a place for them, so I don't use them. And then I'm taking some of these pieces from the ephemera pack, and I'm just kind of placing them around my page and seeing where I like them and where they look good. And then I'm gonna take that little card, which I have it, oh there it is. I'm going to stamp my date on it, which was December 26th. It was the day after Christmas. I'm taking some color box, little color box ink, chalk ink. Is that color box? Hang on. Yeah, color box, it's the chalk ink. And I'm going to take that and stamp my date, and then I'm going to take a pen and write Lake Tahoe, which is going to end up being my title because I realized I didn't really put a title on this. But that's okay. You don't need a title for every layout. So I'm okay with that. But yeah, it just ends up being Lake Tahoe. So I'm gluing around the pieces of the from the ephemera pack, and again I just chose random pieces. Now in the end I do a few things or add a few things which you don't see me do on camera. Right now I'm just taking some of that pink and coral washi and adding it in different places around the page, and primarily I did that just to add, and that has like striped pink, coral, and red stripes, that washi tape. So I just did that to kind of add some more color to the page because it was kind of, you know, with the wood background and then the blacks, I wanted to bring in some more color. So that's what the purpose of that was. And then also because that little card that I'm adhering right now had some of that pink in it, so I wanted to use that. And that little card actually says, It says pages filled with memories, stories, and happiness. So it's really cute, and I used the twine, which twine was one of the things that I had to use, so there it goes. That's twine. So I used washi, I used twine, and now I'm looking for the enamel dots that I'm going to use. And I ended up using some black ones. Now, in the end of my, towards the end, after I've stopped recording, I did make a couple of changes. Those little enamel dots that you see on the bottom right that I just stuck down, I moved those down and I put them under the washi tape. And then I will also add a piece, a little pink die cut from the ephemera pack, and I will add that underneath that green, little piece of green ephemera on the bottom left. I'll add it there. That little green heart that I just placed, I'll move that up on top of my frame, the one that's on the picture. And what else do I do? And then I will, where that little heart is right now, I will add a little piece from the chipboard pack. The one that is right, it's underneath the flower. It says color chrome, and it's like a film strip thing. So I will do that. And those are just a few minor changes, or things that I add to the layout after I stop recording. So that's about, everything that I changed to it. And it was just because I felt that it looked better that way. So that's why I did make those changes. And then I decided that the pink was a bit overwhelming. So I add some of this black and white polka dot washi tape. And I add pieces of that on top of the pink, just to kind of tone down the pink a little bit because it was a bit bright. And that is it. That's my layout. You can see the little small changes I made here in the still shots. Make sure you guys check out Christy's video because she's going to have one up today as well. I can't wait to see what she does with these papers. So I'll put a link to her video below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'll see you guys very, very soon for another episode of Obsessed. Take care. Bye-bye.